I have two very sobering words that the Lord has given me and has told me to come on here and to share with you. I'm going to do this in two separate videos. However, in a way, they kind of go together. So if you're listening to one, make sure you to go back to my channel and listen to the other one too that's posted today, okay? So yesterday, I wasn't even in prayer. I was just doing my daily things, and I heard the Lord say something, and it was very sobering, and immediately I knew what he meant. He said, I do send people to hell. Immediately I knew what he was talking about. Immediately I knew he was talking about his children spreading, speaking to other people about Christ and spreading the word that God does not send people to hell. It is by their own choice they go to hell. Okay. I knew immediately this is what he was wanting to address in me. And I am, up until yesterday, this is the viewpoint that I have taken, and this is what I have told people. And the Lord, he's saying it is a half-truth that is being told right now, and he needs it to be the full truth. Yes, it is by our own choices if we end up in hell. We either believe the gospel or we do not believe the gospel. It is not God's desire for anyone to go to hell. It's not what he wants. But he is the ultimate judge, and as the judge, he does perform the righteous judgment, okay? If someone does not have Jesus, it is the Lord who sends that person to hell. It was by their own choices. So yes, the responsibility is on the individual, whether or not they want to believe the gospel or not. It is by their choice. But it is by God's word that the act happens. He is the judge. He gave me a few different verses to support what he told me yesterday, that he does send people to hell. And he told me today not to read these verses, but just to list the references, because he wants his children to go into their Bibles and read this for themselves, so it really takes root. So they are getting it straight from his word and not through a video. Okay, Matthew 25:41, 2 Peter 2:4-10, Revelation 15:9-11, and Matthew 10:28. This was a very sobering word for me, because I have been one that will explain the gospel in that way, that God doesn't send people to hell. It is their own choice. They send themselves to hell by what they choose, which is, yes, half of the truth. It's half of the truth. It is not the full truth. God has to judge sin. He has to. He sent his son to be the sacrifice for that sin. Those who do not accept that sacrifice, he has to judge them. And it's by his word that he either says, "Well done, good and faithful servant," or he says, "Depart from me, I never knew you." The Lord told me, he said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Proverbs 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and he that knows the Holy One has understanding. He said that there is this campaign of half-truth going around about how he doesn't send people to hell because, hold on, I need to push this on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Because the enemy is trying to take away the fear of the Lord. Why? Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The enemy doesn't want us to be wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This hyper grace movement, this God is only love movement, this God is the lamb but not the lion movement, all these, God doesn't send people to hell. It's their own actions that send them to hell. All these half-truths are orchestrated by the enemy to keep the fear of the Lord out of the people's hearts. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And when people start fearing the Lord, they become wise. And when people start becoming wise, Satan's attempts at deceiving them fail. There is a healthy fear that we should have of God. And I'm not just talking about respect. Yes, we need to respect the Lord, but we also must fear him as well as a child. As a child fears parents. When a child gets in trouble, and I remember when I was little and my mom would run around the house chasing me with the fly swatter. And once she caught me, I got a good fly swatter to my butt. And that was fear. That was fear. There is a healthy fear we are to have of our parents when we're younger. And when we do something wrong. And there's a healthy fear that we should have of God as well when we do something wrong. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And as we get to know the Holy One, the second part of that verse says the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. As we get to know the Lord closer and closer to him, we start to understand things better. But it starts with the fear of the Lord. Wisdom starts there. And Satan is trying to remove the fear of the Lord from society. We don't have to fear God. God is love. God is grace. It doesn't matter what we do because he loves us. He loves us no matter who we are. It doesn't matter. This is what is being told, and it's half-truths because Jesus is the lion and the lamb. The Lord wanted me to come on and share this. And at first I thought it was just for me, but he gave me confirmation today that I need to get on here and share this. He says, as you are speaking about me to other people, make sure you are speaking about me in the correct way, representing who I am in the correct way, both the lion and the lamb. People will not understand why they need Jesus if they don't understand that God has to judge sin righteously. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We need to let people know why they need Jesus. I think that is the end of this one. Again, those verses: Matthew 25:41, 2 Peter 2:4 through 10, Revelation 15:9 through 11, and Matthew 10:28. I am going to go ahead and make the word, or record the word, the second word he gave me today. So stay tuned for that, okay? I love you guys.